Well, all right. Well, good morning. How you guys doing today? Man, I am excited about today. We are in our series, Momentous. We're continuing this series. It's been awesome. We're in week 5. And we got a lot of cool things we're going to talk about today. And I'm going to get to those things, but a lot of them revolve around preparation, preparing for certain things. And this week, I've been seeing a lot of posts about who is already ready for Christmas, right? I've been seeing it all, like, when is it okay to put my tree up? When is it okay to put my lights up? And it was like 12:01 it was Halloween night, and people were like, "Can I put my tree up yet?" And people were like, "Christmas, yes, yes, Lord." And it's like, it's just y'all crazy, man. So, and you guys are getting prepared. How many of you would say, "I got my Christmas tree up already"? Ooh, all right. We got a couple. How many of you are like, "I don't got the Christmas tree up yet, but I got the fall tree"? Any fall trees? All right, we got a fall tree. We know what you're doing, okay? We get what you're trying to do. How many of you are already like, you got your Christmas shopping started and you've already got it planned out, started Christmas shopping? Oh my God. How many of you are done Christmas shopping? Like, I did it last year. Yes, you smart. When all the Christmas stuff goes on sale, that's when you buy it. Smart people do that stuff. Well, hey, if not, man, Black Friday is coming. Prepare yourself. Go running up and down the aisles at Walmart or something. I don't know what you do. I don't go to that crazy stuff, y'all. You get killed going to Black Friday shopping. That's all I'm saying. I went one time, and that's all it took. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Just wait till everything goes on sale after Christmas and tell your kids they'll get it next Christmas. It'll be great. So anyway, people are getting prepared for Christmas, man. It's just one of those things. I saw something that said, man, or I was listening to Joy FM, and they were saying that, when you put up Christmas lights, it just brings joy. There's this joy that comes with the Spirit. And even that day, they weren't ready to play Christmas music yet, but in light of what they were talking about, they played one Christmas song. And people are excited about it. They're getting prepared for what Christmas brings. So in the spirit of Christmas preparation, we today wanted to kind of let you guys know what we are preparing for Kairos. For Christmas, and I'm so excited about that. But what we want to do is we want to help you or have you join us in praying for what we're going to be doing, and have you pray about helping provide what we're needing to do, all that we need to do in order that we can present Jesus to people. Today, we're going to talk about momentous preparation. We're going to get to that, but also you guys just watched that video, and today is Orphan Sunday, and we wanted to kind of, just get the word out about Orphan Sunday. We wanted to do some things to help you understand that there's this immense need here in our county, in our state, and really in the world. And if you don't know this already, Kairos advocates for the fatherless. We love the fatherless. We want to do anything that we can to come alongside, foster children and foster families and do whatever we can to help them. And this Christmas, we want to do something very special. We want to partner with One More Child and something that they got going on. What you need to know is that there are hundreds of foster parents that take in foster children during the year, sometimes right before the holidays. And then as they do that, they have to be prepared to get gifts and plan for their family, but they also have to get gifts and plan and prepare for these kids that they just welcome into their home. And so they have this immense responsibility, and we want to help with that. And so what I did is we invited Billy from One More Child to come and share a little bit about what that looks like and how we can get involved. So if you would, man, do me a favor and welcome Billy to the stage. Oh, they'll turn you on.
Well, I'm used to hollering, so don't let me holler.
There
we
you
go. Hi, I'm up and running now. I am so honored to be here. I had the pleasure of moving about 100 backpacks full of stuffed animals and love and everything else from this wondrous group of people from Colleen's office to a closet. And I have been able to give them out to many of the families. So I just wanted to thank you. 2 of the children recently that received the backpacks were 3 and 6, and they're going to a 30-year-old home 30-year-olds that have a home in Highland City with no children. And they were not planning on that age. They were planning on older. They were not planning on 2:30 in the morning. So those backpacks were wonderful just to begin, because they had nowhere to start. But prayerfully, and thanks to the Holy Spirit, they're part of a church group in Highlands County that comes alongside them. And so within 48 hours, and One More Child car seats and some other things, they were trying to figure out what to do with the food, the snacks they did not know how to buy, the toys, the things. So church and what Jesus started in Acts with all of us coming together and giving and living as one body, with or without the Gentiles that are saved or not saved. So I wanted to let you know two stories about things that are going on. Right now in Highlands County, we have two families in their 30s that have never had children. They have a 2-year-old in one house and a brand new baby coming in February because mom and dad just have not been able to get it together. And this little 2-year-old spent the majority of his life in a car seat because they lived in a car. So there are developmental delays, but they won't be barriers in the future. He just has not learned or had the walking and the things that other children typically get. So this little child, the parents spend a lot of money on making sure he has the needs met, the physical therapies, which the state helps provide, but also the transportation, buying things that help develop him. So their money is not going to be available for Christmas gifts. The fun things, they're going to be able to spend some, but they're going to be really shortchanged in Christmas gifts. And then we also have the other family that I was talking to you about. They have got the church coming alongside of them, but they're having to spend their money on plastic drink cups and plastic plates and diapers, which they were not counting on. And they actually do not really know what to get. So they're scared to go into like a toy store because they think they're going to buy everything. So we have a gift registry, which Miss Amy down here, who is my Southeastern University social work intern and the foundation of what's going on through this busy season, she has a gift registry up and running. And the children are being placed on there, and I will send Stephanie, is that your assistant's name? I will send her tomorrow morning a link so you can email her and she can email it directly back to you, and you can just click on it. You go in and the child's wish list is already on there. And I believe there's a tree in the back. There's a tree in the back. So the children's names are on there. Right now, we have 12 children just under One More Child foster care that are going to be listed. And the other thing that I want you to pray about is that some of these foster parents have never received. They're so used to working hard and not asking for help because they allow the Lord to provide, that we had to work at talking them to put the children on the registry. But they're allowing us to receive the calling of the Lord by taking that name and taking care of the gifts that these children need so they can meet the other needs. The other thing I want to tell you about, which is important, is Christmas on campus at Florida Baptist Children's Home in Lakeland. It's December 14th. There's some flyers out there from 6 to 8. And what this looks like is a large, started out in the early 1900s as 144 acres. Now I think we're about 60 acres. There are 7 cottages, single mom cottages, a traditional family foster home cottage, which means people like Brent and Christina live in there, and Florida Baptist pays for the home, and they agree to keep up to 7 foster children in their care at all times. So all of these homes will be open. You'll see a group home or two. You'll see some single moms homes where moms who do not have DCF case plans have come voluntarily to be part of our year-long single mom program there, where they get training and spiritual guidance and work and resume and all that stuff. So music, food, fun. Guatemala Christmas will be set up in our gymnasium, so you'll be able to see what Florida Baptist is doing in Guatemala. There'll be things there that you can purchase that are handmade. So if you have a special someone who you never can find a gift for in your family, someone from Guatemala will have made it, and the proceeds will go back to their family. So come, enjoy yourself, bring strollers for the kids, because there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff to walk. It'll be all decorated, and you'll have a good time. The last thing I wanted to tell you about is what I think God is doing in my life as far as One More Child goes, and that is fulfilling a calling. When I was 15 years old after a trip to Haiti, I accepted Christ at 13. Right before I turned 16, I went to Haiti, and I accepted the call to be a missionary. And then In my 20s, I was raised in Brandon, and we were taught at the time that all you had to do was finish school and life would just handle it all on your own. And I found out at 28, whenever 10 years of drugs and domestic violence relationship and 4 children, God let me walk through that. And I did not follow the calling of missions at that time. Well, I spent 10 years. In 2004, I started with Mothers Against Methamphetamine. And then in 2008, I went to Lighthouse Ministries for 10 years. Then I was able to go to Southeastern University, and the Lord returned the years of the locusts and gave me my Bachelor's of Social Work. I'm working in a slow process through Masters of Ministerial Leadership, but He has finally led me to a mission team leader. And if you accept this call, because God is talking to you, the foster care needs in Polk, Hardy, and Highlands are a mission field, as evident as Guatemala, as Haiti, as anywhere that you could leave this country to get. We have between 1,700 and 2,000 children in care in those 3 counties every night. So as missionaries in foster care, you're providing food, you're providing housing, you're providing clothing, things that you would think you could do for 2 weeks out of the month in another part of the country or another part of the world, you can do right here. And the bottom line need of this is being exampled in 2 foster families we have in North Lakeland right now. 2 little girls have been with them for a year and a half. They attend one church. The foster father called me and was just bawling in February about a little man, that little brother, part of this group, and he was 3 hours away. God opened up the doors through foster families who had been hurt by a transition and were dealing in a lot of grief. They were able to take in the brother. They live a mile apart now. There are a total of 5 siblings in this group. 1 child lives here in Winter Haven, so those 3 live in North Lakeland, and then the mom has the baby. They never took the baby. It's domestic violence, lack of education. She started having babies when she was 14. So I did a home visit this past week and found out that she has accepted Christ through the witnessing of these foster families. She has had 4 Bible studies with the foster mom, and both churches are coming together because the family home is a mobile home that's been around for a long time, but it's paid for. And they pay $400 a month, this is the mom, to provide shelter. That's her lot rent. So they're coming together and they're going to put this mobile home back together. So God is providing the Acts Church by allowing the Holy Spirit for 2 churches through the dedication and mission call of 2 sets of families and other biological children's in the home to put a family back together to walk them through what it looks like to follow Jesus Christ. So I want to thank you for your love and your prayers. I really hope that if you ever thought that God was leading you into missionary as a ministry, don't think you have to leave. I do believe I am a mission leader, and God has finally put me where my calling was supposed to be when I was 15 years old. So thank you for having us and being Kairos.
Man, thank you so much, Billy. There's so much. There's so many stories like that, and we just heard about a couple. Just a couple of things. The tree is right back there. It has the name tags on there. We want to get you guys involved. We want to get you an opportunity to get involved in a foster child's life, in the foster family's life. But we also want to open up your eyes to the need for foster children to have a place while they wait to be reunified with their family. It's a need for children who have been removed and maybe the parents' rights have been terminated and they're waiting for a forever home. Man, what I want you to understand is that this issue, it's a local issue. It's an overseas issue. It's a global issue, and it's really one that the church cannot ignore. We cannot sit back and do nothing about it, because advocating for the fatherless, it is a local and global issue that the church, we can't ignore it. I want to share a passage of scripture with you. It'll be up on the screen. It's found in Psalm chapter 10, verse 14. It says, "But you, God, you see the trouble of the afflicted. You consider their grief and you take it in hand. The victims commit themselves to you. You are the helper of the fatherless." You see, if our heart is for the Father, for our Father, then we should have a heart of the Father. and we should do everything that we can to begin helping these children in need. And so that's our challenge today, man, is to come alongside one more child and these families to provide gifts for the foster families. We also want to get information into your hands about becoming a foster family or an adoptive parent. We have these packets in the back if you're looking for more information on that. And then, of course, Billy already talked about the Christmas open house. Just go and see. And just go and see these kids. They're wonderful kids, and it's just a cool thing to be a part of. So we invite you to do that. So that's a little bit about Orphan Sunday. Can we give it up one more time for Billy for joining us today? Now, I want to move on now to what we have planned for Christmas at Kairos, and I wouldn't do it justice because we have some masterminds working behind the scenes on all the plans that we got going on. So I'm going to invite Steph Gladora to join me up on stage. You can, welcome her as she comes up on stage. Her and a team of people have been planning and preparing and scheming and thinking and all these and throwing these crazy radical ideas at me for the stuff that we want to do for Christmas at Kairos. So I wanted to ask her a couple of questions, and so share a little bit about what we got going on for Christmas at Kairos. So the first question is this: what can we expect? What is going on for Christmas at Kairos this year?
Okay, so we've been scheming, y'all.
Yeah,
okay?
scheming.
Christmas at Kairos is going to be phenomenal. What we've decided to do this year is create a Whoville village in our courtyard. We are going to just go all out with decorating and just creating this whole immersive experience for kids and families, anyone to walk through. There's going to be activities based in these areas. We're going to have you ever seen, like, at the mall, these giant snow globes that you get to go in and take pictures with? We got one, okay? We also have 2 actors that are going to, sorry for
No,
the
they're
kids.
real.
That,
It's the
they're
real thing.
The real Grinch and Cindy Lou Who are going to be here at Kairos. And we're gonna go all out with just making this the courtyard area into a wonderland of Whoville. We're going to have, like, craft areas for the kids or adults. We're going to have cookie decorating under a tent for the kids or the adults. We're going to have a ball pit area, but that's only for the kids,
No,
okay?
wait. We'll talk about this later. Well, I'll figure it out.
We'll discuss that later. We're also going to have this giant a booth for a hot chocolate, artisan hot chocolate, where you get to go and take all these different toppings and fillings and just create your own. So we're going to make it beautiful and enticing and exciting, and just like you were walking into Whoville.
Man,
so
that's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be awesome. You just ruined Christmas for a lot of kids. No, I'm just kidding. I think we're gonna have a train as well, right? We'll have the little train going on. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, and man, we're going all out, and we want to provide an amazing experience for these kids. Now, are we gonna need any help for any of that? Do you think we need any help? No, we got it. We're good.
We got it. No, we need help for sure. So far, we have an awesome creative team that's doing a fantastic job of getting each station planned and prepped and purchased and designed. So we're doing great on that. But if that's something that piques your interest in carpentry or painting or set design, if that's something that you enjoy and want to help, on the back of your Connect card, write Whoville Creative Team on it.
Or just Whoville.
Or just Whoville,
That's
either
a lot,
way.
right?
And then we need volunteers to man these stations and to dress up as Whoville characters, and basically you're a cast member. So if you want to, on the day, if you're not serving anywhere else, because Christmas is going to be a very big, a highly attended day. So we don't want to take you from serving in kids or cafe, but if you're not doing anything, we can figure that out. But we need cast members out there manning the stations, interacting with guests, making it a really fun experience. So if you're interested in that, also write that on the back of your Connect card, and I'll get some information to you.
Awesome. Yeah, so we need help building. And we need help making it all happen, making the magic happen. Now, so we got all this stuff going on for Christmas. We got anything leading up to Christmas? Is there anything going on?
Funny you should ask. We actually do.
All right.
The 3 weeks before our Christmas at Kairos, we're going to have fun events planned every week. The first is December 2nd. You should see, did we get the graphic?
There should be a graphic you can put up on screen for us.
There we go.
There it is.
December 2nd. So the first one is going to be Ugly Sweater Sunday.
Yeah.
We're inviting everyone to wear their ugliest sweater. It's going to be phenomenal.
And it'll be cold that day, so you'll be fine.
Oh, yeah, pray for cold weather. And that day, we're also going to have the real Santa Claus to meet and greet,
Good
walking
job.
around campus. The second week, December 9th, we're going to have a hot chocolate bar. It's just going to be a little preview of what we're going to have at Whoville. And on that day, we get to meet and greet Frosty the Snowman, real Frosty.
He's real.
He's real.
Made out of snow.
December 16th, the third week before Christmas, is going to be an elf scavenger hunt over in kids ministry for the kids. We'll get to meet the real Buddy the Elf, and we're also encouraging all kids and families to wear Christmas PJs.
Just real quick on that. We were just going to do kids' Christmas PJs, but Johnny
Jo-
fought for entire families to
Johnny
do PJs.
pled
So
his case.
in order for him to do that, we have to put it out to everybody so he's not a weirdo. I'm just kidding. We love him. So yeah, Christmas PJs, entire families. You want to match up? That would be awesome.
Perfect.
And then finally, it's December 23rd, and we got Christmas at Kairos. Okay. Why do we do all this? What's all this about? Why do we do all this stuff for Christmas?
Well, first of all, it's super fun.
Okay.
Right?
Yep. Absolutely.
We're going to have a blast with all of this. But the reason we're doing Whoville Village and such an extravagant thing for the Christmas service is because we want to get people who would not typically come to church to be able to come and enjoy a free holiday event. A lot of families in the area look for things like that are specifically free, but also just fun holiday things to do as a family. And if we can get the word out about this event and they can see all of the cool things that we're doing, maybe they attend, and before they go and enjoy Whoville Village, which is going to be incredible, but before they do that, they get to sit and hear, and they get to hear about the life-changing story of Jesus, and they get to hear the gospel. So we're doing this first of all, because one of our core values is to go out, or to get up and go, and to reach the not yet Christians. This is our way of being able to invest time, energy, money, and resources into creating something that could attract a not yet Christian. We want them to come, and we want them to hear about the life-saving plan of salvation, and then we want to go have fun. Yeah. So that's the reason we're doing it. I mean, we want people to come and hear about the Jesus that we are celebrating on Christmas.
That's right.
That's the fun stuff, but the true life change is going to happen in here before they go out and enjoy that.
That's right.
That'll
Absolutely.
Get some families.
That'll preach.
Yep.
Now you said get the word out. So you think that we should probably tell people about this? You think that's important? Is that worth sharing?
I think you guys know the answer to this.
Yes. I'm gonna share a little bit about that, but let's give it up for Steph for joining us today on stage and sharing. So a lot of cool things, and so just so you know, all this stuff's going on, and man, it's not for us, right? It's not for our church. It's to reach those who have not yet embraced Jesus in their life. That's why we're doing that. And so because of that, we want to make sure we let people know what we got going on. And so we're going to get the word out. We're going to do things like door hangers and yard signs and invite cards and billboards. And we're going to be on Facebook. And that requires all of us to come alongside and be a part of this, to provide what God is going to do come Christmas Sunday. You see, sadly, none of that stuff is free. It all costs something, but it's all important because people come and hear about the life-saving message of Jesus Christ. I mean, see, our church, like Steph said, our church is all about engaging those who have not yet embraced Jesus in their life, and we want to do anything we can to reach them, to bring them in here to hear about him. Last year, I was looking this up last year, our first Christmas, this is our second Christmas, y'all, it's exciting. But last year, I just want you to know, our kids ministry, we doubled. We went from 25 kids to 60 on Christmas Day. 25 kids to 60. If that happens this year, y'all, it's going to be straight crazy. Pray for your kids workers. But it also means that we're reaching families and we're reaching more kids. And yes, they get to come and have fun, but they have an amazing kids ministry where they learn about Jesus as well, and they get an opportunity to respond to Jesus too. And so we want to do that. Another thing that took place in the sanctuary last year is over 60 people responded to the call, to do something in their life for Jesus. Maybe it was a rededication or to give their life to Jesus for the very first time. 60 people last year. I mean, just imagine what we can do, man, if we get the word out and more people come. And we're talking about preparation and preparing, and I mean, all of this is to lead to Jesus. And that's the journey of the gospel. It all led to one man. It led to Jesus. But it came through many people. Because all throughout the Bible, through biblical history, men and women did what they could. They got up, they prepared, and they provided so that God could provide us his son, and with it, salvation. I mean, think about it. Mary and Joseph, they prepared and provided to raise Jesus. Think about John the Baptist. This dude who's crazy, he was awesome. He prepared and he provided to present Jesus. He was showing the way. Apostle Peter, what did he do? He prepared and provided to share Jesus. He started the church. In Acts, you see him, man, just sharing Jesus with the masses. And then Apostle Paul, he prepared and provided to globalize Jesus. He took what was going on in Jerusalem and he went and he wanted to get it to the ends of the earth. Provision and preparation can be seen as far back as a guy named Abraham. I want to share a quick story about Abraham, how he prepared and provided, and God showed up. The scripture will be up on the screen. It's Genesis 22, verse 1, and you probably know this story. It's about his son Isaac. Let's read it real quick. Verse 1, it says, after these things, God tested Abraham's faith. God said to him, Abraham, and he answered, here I am. Then God said, take your only son Isaac, the son you love, and go to the land of Moriah. Kill him there and offer him as a burnt sacrifice on one of the mountains I will tell you about. Abraham got up early in the morning and saddled his donkey. He took Isaac and 2 servants with him. After he cut the wood for the sacrifice, they went to the place God had told them to go. On the 3rd day, Abraham looked up and saw the place in the distance. He said to his servants, stay here with the donkey. My son and I will go over there and worship, and when we come back, and then we will come back to you. Verse 6, it says, Abraham took the wood for the sacrifice and gave it to his son to carry. But he himself took the knife in the fire. So he and his son went together. Isaac said to his father Abraham, Father! And Abraham answered, yes, my son. Isaac said, we have the fire and we have the wood, but where is the lamb we will burn as a sacrifice? In verse 8, Abraham answered, God will give us the lamb for the sacrifice, my son. You go on in the story and you find out that that's exactly what happened, that God was willing to provide exactly what Abraham needed. You think about the craziness of the story and God asking Abraham to do something so radical. Go and sacrifice your son, but Abraham was willing. He was obedient. He didn't hesitate. And he did what he could. He prepared what he could. He got the wood. He got the fire. He had the knife. He had everything he needed. He even had a life that God asked for. And he said, yes, God, here it is. It's all for you. But then when he finally got there, when he was willing to step up, to prepare and provide, God showed up. You see, when you are faithful to say yes to God, God is faithful to show up. He'll show up. You see, Abraham, his willingness, his obedience to provide all that he could led to God providing the lamb, the sacrifice. You see, this story, the story of Abraham and his son Isaac, it's just a small glimpse of God's grand story, of God's greater story, of God providing us with Jesus as a sacrifice for us. And like Abraham, when we prepare, when we provide all that we can, God will show up and do what only he can. He will show up. He'll show up in our lives, just like he showed up in Abraham's lives. And that's what we want. We want to prepare and provide so that God will show up. In our preparation and in our provision, man, it can lead to God bringing salvation to someone's life. Maybe it's a friend, a family member, a coworker, where we do what we can so that God will show up and provide salvation. I want to share a quick story with you. You know, each week of this series, a Momentous series, we've been talking about Kairos stories and hearing from, different people on the screen about what's taken place in their life, how God has gotten a hold of their life and the changes that have taken place. And today I don't have a video for you, but I want to read a letter that I got earlier this week. And this is from the Moya family, Victor and Rachel and their daughters. And I'm just going to read this to you. And it's from Victor. And he said, Rachel first brought the kids to Easter at Kairos. And he said, Rachel came back and told me all about the experience that they had and that they absolutely loved it. He said, so I decided to attend with them a few weeks after that. And he said, I was drawn to the message because it was very different than what we've heard before. I liked how the sermon compelled people to look at themselves and examine how they're living and to line it up with the Bible and who Christ wants them to be. He goes on to say, every time I would go, I found myself asking eternal questions after the sermon, things that really made me mad at first, but I knew were true. Since going to Kairos, I, Victor, have been able to deal with my addiction and anger, and I'm working on letting go of some of the hate that I have carried for a long time. I feel that God, through Kairos, is helping me to be the man that God wants me to be, and I greatly appreciate that. My family and I have come a long way since coming to Kairos, and the family has come alive. They're now serving, all of them. Rachel and the daughters are serving in kids. Victor, you'll see him out here, man, getting the cafe ready. And it's all because at somewhere along the way, they heard about Easter. They heard about what we were doing. We had this ball pit and this bunny that we were going to dunk in some dunk tank. And it's all silliness, but it got them to come. And because they came to check that out, they were brought into the presence of Jesus and heard about the life-changing message of Jesus, and it changed who they were. They were transformed because God showed up in their life. God showed up. We prepared, we planned, and we provided, and God showed up. There are so many stories like this. And our hope is this Christmas is that we'll be able to prepare and provide so that many others can experience the same thing. Church, would you stand with me as I close this?